Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Brian, and today I'm going to be talking about Love Island Australia, Seasons 5, Episode 1 and 2. Now, normally when I do these Love Island reviews, I do it in a 60-second format on either Instagram or TikTok. But since the first episode of every season usually has a ton of content, it's usually over an hour long, and we get to meet a bunch of new people. I decided this time I'm going to do the YouTube video format. And also, since I live in the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time Zone, these shows come on at 3 a.m. for us over here. So it normally airs at 6 p.m. in Australia. So I might actually be able to swing these on most days, doing an actual YouTube video and maybe punching a little shorter review on Instagram or TikTok. It's all going to be, we're going to see how it goes. I don't know. Bill might try to join on and catch up. This is going to be an experiment because all the other shows that we've done when I was doing Love Island UK, that's only like a 5 or 6 hour difference. So I can kind of get that out same day. These other ones, it's a big time difference. So maybe even by the time this is out, it's going to be 3 or 4 hours until the new episode drops. So I'm going to try to get better at this. I have like a vacation scheduled coming up. So I might actually be missing like episode 4 and 5. I also still don't know the format or not the format, the schedule of the episodes yet. But I'm gonna be trying to do this here because I think when we were doing USA, I thought it got a lot of traction. And it's fun to talk about people with the show every single day because a lot happens. So this is also my first season of Love Island Australia. So if I say something that you're like, how does he not know this? This is my first time covering this iteration of Love Island. So I will learn. All right, so a few things. It is in Spain again, and also this will be the first time that the women are choosing right off the bat. So Sophie made a point to say that hey, we're making history here. Apparently, all the guys have chosen first every single time. So let's meet the women. So we have Savannah, 26. She has a double degree in business. Interesting thing about her, she has three guys' initials tattooed on her body. We're gonna learn more a little more about that later, but she says that at least one of them was a homemade tattoo. So that's kind of a huge red flag. And when we meet some of the guys, one of the guys like that is a huge issue. So that's something to keep an eye out on. Tia, 24. I think what she said was she was in real estate management. So I also didn't, she kind of had like a pretty normal bio. So nothing really stuck out to me, kind of like Savannah did, but I liked her. She was probably one of my favorites of the original movie. Tyra, 23, she's from Sunshine Coast. She kept talking about she is a full jug. So I wonder if that's something in Australia they say a lot more of. I can't tell you the last time I said the word jug, and I'm referring to cups, like filling up liquid with. So I also really liked her too. Kira, 25. She said that her sister was on math. So I'm assuming that in America, the acronym that would be married at first sight. She said she called out her sister's husband. So she had a little bit of brief stint on reality TV. She likes tattoos and piercings, and she likes the jail look. So that made me laugh. Nakia, she's 21. She said she's a country girl at heart, but again, not something I didn't really pick up anything crazy about her either on her original bio. So the host Sophie Monk, she shows up and she keeps talking about the word eras. So she said like, what era are the girls in? And then we later find out that this show is gonna have like eras. So I wonder if that's like a new thing for this season of like a theme, I guess. All right, so they do the normal thing. Girls come in, host talks to them like, "Hey, what are you looking for?" Like, and this is where the eras thing, like, what era are you in? I honestly didn't write those down because I thought it was kind of just like a BS. Because if they're really going to focus on it, I'm sure we'll hear about it a little more. They're like, "Hey, what are you looking for? What guy do you like?" She's like, "Let's bring out the dudes." First dude we meet is Zach. He's 25. He's a Kiwi living in Melbourne. I had to look up what a Kiwi was. I didn't know that was somebody from New Zealand. So there's gonna be a lot of things like slang that I'm gonna probably be Googling and looking up because it's very different over here in America. So one of the funny things that he said, which I thought was going to be like a cliffhanger joke on a commercial, but he said he's unemployed and lives with his parents. So I wonder how that will go as we meet new people and see like, hey, that's a deal breaker for me because I don't know if that's something to brag about. I'm gonna be completely honest. Ben, 22, he's from Sydney. He's a model, and he said he was close to his mom. Again, he I thought he had a pretty normal bio too. He seems like a cool dude. Trent, 25. He's a country boy who lives in Melbourne, and he says he falls hard. So that might be interesting to see, like how he takes some of the his first like true like test or something like that. But as we get to the later in the review, who he matches up with, she kind of we'll get there. We'll get there. Ollie, 24. Okay, I thought this guy was pretty interesting. He says he was English. His glasses are fake and his teeth are fake, and he looks like he's wearing dentures with those fake ass teeth. So a couple of people commented on it. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't think he'll last that long, but we'll see. Nate, 24, he's from Sydney and he's a personal trainer. He probably was the most in shape guy there. He he seems to be like a hot topic or a hot commodity right now. So we'll see how it goes past episode 2, and then obviously wherever you're watching, whether it's morning or night, episode 3. Like I said before, the girls get to choose first, so this is a historic moment on the show, and they do the same thing on UK and USA, where everybody lines up. A girl walks up who, and I think like when they do it, it would just be flipped. So like the guy would be which girl would say like, "Hey, what are you interested in?" But this time it's like girls get to choose whatever guy likes her steps forward. I have my little chart here. Tia goes first. Every single guy steps forward for her, and she gets to pick whoever she wants. She chooses Trent. Savannah is next, and only one person stands up for her. It is Ollie, and she actually chooses Zach. So Zach did not step forward for her, but Savannah chooses him. Tyra, she has 3 men step forward for her. It's Ben, Ollie, and Nate, and she chooses Ben. Kira has no one step forward for her, and she chooses Ollie. And then Nakia has only Zach step forward, and even though Zach's already with Savannah, she was Sophie was like, "Hey, why Nate? Why did you step forward?" And during her like little speech before she stepped forward, she was like, "I'm looking for somebody that's taken." So that's like why Nate didn't step forward, but then she ends up choosing Nate anyways. So I don't really get that. I didn't really understand some of the selections here where they're like choosing people that I didn't think they were saying they were interested in, but whatever. So our couples are Tia and Trent, Savannah and Zach, Tyra and Ben, Kira and Ali, and Nakia and Nate. So Sophie Monk says that this is the spicy era. So I think when she says that, that means like there's going to be like a lot of twists and turns, and there is a big twist that I'm unfamiliar with. It might be new. Maybe it's an Australian Survivor or an Australian Survivor thing, and Love Island Australia thing. But comment below if this is when I get there, if that's a new thing. All right, a couple things. He is happy with her choice. There's a bunch of conversation going on in the villa. They just are panning over to each couple, talking. And this is where I said earlier that Savannah talks to someone about her initial ex-boyfriends on her body. She talks to Zach and how she did these tattoos by herself. He's like, "What the hell is this? This is a major red flag." Kira is not feeling Ollie. No surprise there. Nobody stepped forward for her. She can't get past the fake teeth, like I said, and things like that. Nakia thinks that Nate might just be a friend. So, like I just said a minute or two ago, I didn't think the date or the first matchup ceremony went well. They should have went with their heart. I don't know why they were picking people that weren't chosen. I don't know why they did that, but so she's thinking this overnight. The next morning, she tells the girls. And Tia, when this happens, Tia's like, "Hey, I would like to get to know Nate." So we were right off the bat thought that Tia said, like I said, Tia was happy with her choice with Trent, but here it is that she wants to get to know Nate. So at least somebody they're starting to play the game a little bit. Zach pulls Nakia. He, like I said, but he's not really interested in Savannah. He lets her know that he wishes that he was sleeping with her last night. And then she tells him that Tia is into Nate. So that kind of throws him for a loop. Tia pulls Nate. They talk a little bit. The Islanders get their first text of the season that a bombshell is coming. Lucinda, she's 23. She's from Love Island UK season 7. So when she was originally on the season, she was 21. The guys are all drooling about it. The girls are sitting on the balcony or standing on the balcony watching. They finally start to realize who she is. I remember her. Zach says he remembers watching her on that season, and he had a huge crush on her. And that's where kind of episode one ends, and we get a teaser slash preview for the next episode, and we have Reed 26 coming in, and he's a personal trainer, and he it has a big emphasis on humor. So we move into episode two. Lucinda likes Nate and Ollie. So Ollie, not a hot commodity at all, so that is good for him. Everyone seems to like Nate, so not a surprise there. Zach tells Trent that Tia wants to get to know Nate. So this kind of worries him, and he's like, I'm gonna kiss her tonight. That's another thing. There has not been as much kissing as when you're watching, I feel like, USA or UK. So I wonder if that's just like a first or second episode thing, but I was kind of surprised that we did not get our first kiss till episode two. Zach tries to help Trent with the situation, what he needs to do, and I was a little surprised. I if you say you're just gonna kiss her, just go pull her and talk to her and kiss her. I didn't think this was a big deal. Lucinda and Nate chat, tells him that he tells her that she's his type and vice versa. Later that night, they do like a reverse game of what actually happened in the beginning, where the girls come in first, meet the guys, and the girls now have to do this for the guys, and Zach pretends to be Sophie Monk, and Lucinda finds that really hot, and that not hot that he was trying to be a girl, but like how his humor is, and so now he becomes her third target on her list. Lucinda gets a text that in the next 24 hours she needs to choose someone to couple up with, leaving one of the girls vulnerable. So this is also very typical on Love Island, where we're going to see somebody be vulnerable. They're not going to be eliminated, or not, or are they? The next morning, Lucinda gets another text that she's going to be speed dating 3 guys. So she chooses Nate, Ollie, and Zach. What I noticed about her is she's really into astrological signs. That is not something that I'm into at all. So if anybody below, I'm sure people watching the show have strong feelings about it, whether you like it or dislike it. I'm sure she will be talking about it a ton when it comes to dudes, because she was guessing people's birthdays and whatnot. And then the Islanders get the first legit text. They are told to meet around the fire pit. Sophie Mudd shows up. So whenever the host comes in, you know something's going down. It is now time for Lucinda to choose a boy. She chooses Nate. No surprise there. I think the older, like I said, the Ollie, Zach. I didn't think she was going to pick Ollie. There just wasn't enough. The one-on-ones that they were having, the camera time they were getting, it just didn't. It was either between Nate or Zach. All right, so Nakia is now single, and she has to go to the waiting room. So this is something that I'm completely unfamiliar with. I don't know if this is new this season. They might have said it. I might have missed it, but we still don't know what that means. So now Reed comes out, and like I said, Reed is 26, the personal trainer. Kira, they kind of have like a similar something where the girls go talk to Reed. Kira knows Reed from Tinder, and apparently he had sex with Tyra's sister. So that was kind of crazy to me. I would like to see how that goes moving forward, whether he could be like a short-lived one or a lived Islander, or so that kind of, I think, rules her out of them ever talking. Sophie's like, hey, by the way, you're now choosing someone else to up with. So he chooses Tia. And then that means that Trent is now going into the waiting room. So that's where the episode ends. I'm thinking in episode 3, we will find out what the waiting room is, because he was given a bottle of champagne, and looks like from some of the trailer, it almost looks like they're in the hideaway retreat. Honestly, they're sitting on a bed with the champagne in between them. But so far, I'm very interested in the season. I think it's a tad different than UK and USA, but there's so many episodes of the show, it can change in the drop of a hat. But let me know what you think of the Islanders. Anybody you dislike, that you like, any couples that you dislike that you like, and how you feel about these new people coming in, and what your thoughts are on the waiting room, because I am very interested. And if this is not a new thing, you can call me an idiot below and tell me to do my homework. But I will be back probably with another video like this for episode 3. Episode 4 and 5 are going to be a little tougher for me, because I will be traveling to New Orleans, and I will not have my computer with a VPN on it. So I will maybe have to come back on the weekend, maybe Sunday night. We'll have to see. And then I'll have to catch up with all these episodes. But I just because I won't post an episode for after episode 3, don't be discouraged. I will be back. I am a completionist. I like to finish things. But thank you for watching, and make sure to check out all of our other stuff. We have all of our archived Love Islands of UK or USA of the previous season. We have a bunch of CBS coverage. We have Survivor, Amazing Race. We have the Bachelor franchise. We have F Boy Island. We have Big Brother. We have The Challenge. We have so much stuff. And then also, if you're first time seeing this and you have a show that you really love or a new show that's about to come out, drop it in the comments because we will definitely check it out. I'm always down to check out the new stuff. Bill is also down to check out new stuff, and we will always give something a chance to cover it. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you later.